The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
Eric's Family Barbecue has arrived and is simply the best barbecue in Arizona. Come satisfy your taste buds with meats that are smoked over mesquite wood and sides that are made with fresh ingredients and tons of love. They have the best, juiciest brisket, pulled pork, rib sausage, turkey, or everyone's favorite, the Pitmaster Sampler that includes all the meat and 4 sides, mac and cheese, potato salad, coleslaw, corn, or beans, yum. And for dessert, try some creamy banana pudding, amazing. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip, you won't be sorry. Dine in or take it to go. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more info.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
The old method of treatment for a person in this condition was to throw him in jail.
98.
And off and running for where we're at now with vacation stuff. We'll get into all the vacation stories and things, but of course the Suns game last night, that Deer District is pretty impressive. It's rocking. It's pretty amazing. 25,000 people standing outside of the arena in Milwaukee, and then we had 15,000 in the arena here in Phoenix, and now they're, I guess, opening up Chase Field, and you can go watch there for Wednesday's game, which is amazing. And the NBA and ABC, all too quick to tell us how awesome that is and show pictures of it and everything else, and then do 6-foot interviews in masks. I don't understand what's going on. How in the world can you sit and talk about 25,000 people shoulder to shoulder outside? Look at them dancing and saying, let's do an interview with the coach and stay 6 feet apart and wear a mask during the interview, while we've just been touting how awesome it is that there's 70,000 people standing around. This whole thing's gotten silly again. Beyond silly. The optics don't make any sense. And for people who are trying, we're trying to make it look right, and all the chin diapers in the I didn't know this. You're not even allowed to drink in the first 2 rows at a basketball game. You can never take it down, although everybody wears around their chin like some
chin
sort
diapers.
of some chin diaper, or I don't know, some upside down Jewish guy's got his yarmulke on wrong. It's just dumb. And the whole front row in Milwaukee last night, they're screaming and yelling with their masks on their chins, and I'm like, take them off. This has gotten. Look outside at the cameras you guys are giggling and having the time of your lives with, and then try to sell me that you're being responsible with COVID, too. Quit it. And the hospitals aren't being overwhelmed by the Delta variant as much as everybody's trying to scare you, which is the whole point of the masks and the shots and all the things in the first place. It was never about dying. It was never about anything. They did a terrible job of telling us, you're overwhelming the healthcare system. There's nothing we can do. Please help us out. That should have been the message from jump. This Delta thing that they want to scare us away with. So far, now it could change.
And the Gamma, isn't there Gamma right behind it?
I don't know what that is. I'm sure Gamma's coming up.
That's
on
the next one?
Yeah, they're going down the alphabet.
Who cares?
And that's how everybody is.
Yeah,
I don't care.
everybody,
25,000 people. We've seen.
Wait for Epsilon.
Have we had it? Oh, when Epsilon comes, forget about it. And if we get down to Zeta, there's only going to be like 5 of us left. But there's no consistency in any of that. At least, and I'm not talking, don't start with the emails and the CDC and Fauci. I'm talking about the NBA plus gatherings, ABC doing, please, we're totally responsible.
Right.
This is the year of blah, blah. And then the camera shot of the Deer District. And I've never seen, I don't understand those things. I would never go to one of those. Would you ever pile in to watch one big TV with 25,000 people? That looked awful to me last night. That to me I was cringing at how uncomfortable it looked. It's not the Rolling Stones. It's not live. You have the same exact access at your house or at a bar or
Maybe
somewhere.
Game 5.
Oh,
because it's a chance to.
I'll go to the game.
Yeah, you'll go.
I'm not going to
I'll go to the
watch TV
party.
outside.
I go to the watch.
Really?
Party. Yeah.
College days.
And stand in that?
Are you doing it at concerts?
But that's what I'm saying. But you don't have access to a concert in your home.
Right.
You would never go watch a concert on TV live 25. You would never just go, hey, they're showing it at the stadium 25.
If there was a party, I guess,
You wouldn't go to that.
No, I would.
I've
never
way.
been.
It's awful. It just looks awful. And it looks like a COVID nightmare.
Packed.
And then inside there's the girl who isn't Rachel Nichols because she's not allowed to talk to black people anymore.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what
Talk
happened.
to anybody.
I don't know. No, she's got the
She's
jump.
still hosting the.
I saw her when I was at the
Is that the
H&H.
show?
She's downtown hosting the jump. And she's just sitting there with Big Perk. And
Is she by herself?
Nope, Big Perk and whoever else she's got on the show with her. They sit in the Suns lobby and do the show in the afternoon. But she's not allowed to be.
Not
at
do
the
any
game.
of the
she can't do any game
stuff
stuff
and interviewing.
because she was telling the truth. That ESPN's with diversity is now making it very uncomfortable that they do hiring based on color of skin. And she said the wrong thing.
She just got catty. She just didn't keep her away from me because I'm going to do my job.
I'm keeping my job.
Right, right.
I'm going to have my seat.
Just because your diversity sucks doesn't mean I have to start dancing around. That's your problem. Mm-hmm. Essentially what she was saying is you figure it out. It's not my fault I'm white. It's not her fault she's black.
And I can hook up with...
Let us do our jobs.
Yeah, let us do our jobs and don't make me move because you guys suck. And that's essentially what she said.
And I can hook up with Jimmy Butler during the bubble. It doesn't matter.
And she is not racist at all. Let's just say she's got a lot of black in her. Rachel was known for it. Evidently, she had sex with somebody during the bubble. And why not? Jimmy Butler's in great shape. He looks cool. He's got great hair. But yeah, so that all happened. But now the mask thing. I'm looking at that last night. And Craig Fooey of Channel 15 even. After the game, the arena's empty.
Yeah, you can barely hear him.
No. The arena was empty.
No. With his mask, you can.
Oh, yeah. And he's standing there with his black mask. Katie Ramble's like, let's throw it back into Craig, who's still inside the arena. Let's get outside just to make sure I don't spread COVID because we had 50,000 people standing outside. Jesus. Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's time to just stop. I was all for helping out and doing the right thing. Now we're just getting stupid. Now we're silly. If you want to wear it on your own, you wear it on your own. But there's no more rules. Because you're just going to, mark my words, you're just making it so when Gamma shows up and it's real, everybody's going to say what Brett says. Who cares? Yep. You're making everybody go, this is dumb. Instead of responsible, when we need to be, we're all going to look at this going, I remember this nonsense. Because it's just gotten stupid.
Yep.
He got the Gambo variant.
Yeah. The Gambadingdong. No. Here it comes, my handy-dandy notebook, the Gambadingdong. How you doing? Gambadingdong. I fought it off. By the way, I am immune. All you got to do is suck out my blood. Too bad. It's too powerful to go into your veins because your veins would explode with Gambadingdong radiation.
It can't get through those Peller windows.
Right. I'm the only one. I'm like Peller windows, Brady. My Peller windows, I have inside of me is the same materials as Peller windows. My veins are made of the same materials as Peller windows. Keeps the hot side hot, the cool side cool. I'm like a Big McBLT. 80s reference, fun. Because that's my handy-dandy notebook. Says Gamma's going to come, and Godzilla can't fight him off. And I'll be the only one left. Like people have been saying about me for years. I'm a human cockroach. I can't be killed.
I'm not going anywhere.
And I'll just burrow. Because I'm subterranean.
Like a cicada?
Because I can dig through any surf. Caliche is nothing to me. I'll dig through Caliche. I'll live under the earth for a little while all you die from the Gamma. I don't need a mask. Hold up my handy-dandy notebook. Keep it away.
Wave it off.
The Gambadingdong variant is on its way. Thanks, John.
Sorry, Gambo. I guess the next variant is Omega. I was wrong.
I don't know how it works. I don't know the Greek alphabet for a reason.
Gamma's before Delta, Toledo.
Okay. I think fraternities are stupid, and B, I'm not from Greece.
And Brady Zeta's in the middle.
I said
Did
Zeta.
you say that?
I don't know why. I assumed it's Z. I don't care. The only reason Brady knows any of it is because
I should know it. I was there too, but I have no idea.
That was years ago.
It's dumb.
Yeah. I know the first four. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta.
Here's what I want people to focus on with these giant crowds. Not masks. Not masks. Giant weapons caches in hotel rooms. How about what's going on in Colorado?
I just read about that.
I didn't see this.
Okay, so in Denver, a maid was
cleaning the room. I go to the room and I open a door, and there are 16 rifles.
Somebody had put in the 8th floor 16 rifles. They had bulletproof vests, tactical armor,
over 1,000
rounds, and they had a clean shot out their window of downtown Denver. Not necessarily Coors Field, but where people would be.
Okay, yeah.
The plaza
so
or something like that.
They think, and nobody's sure of it, that this might have just stopped a mass shooting. So I'm looking at that Deer District last night and thinking, they're talking about masks? And we're doing this again?
Yeah.
We forgot. Yep. And so this maid may be a hero, or there just may have been a real big hunting excursion going on in Colorado.
They're still looking.
Some guys selling some...
Yeah, they're missing one of them.
Well, the guy bought a lot of the guns on Friday the 2nd.
Yeah. And Facebook put out, we're going out in a big way.
Yeah.
There's like a cryptic Facebook post. So right there in the Major League All-Star game, tonight the home run derby, tomorrow the game itself, and right there in Denver. And they found 16 rifles for, I think 3 people were in the room, maybe 4, I don't remember. And over 1,000 rounds, which if you've got a loading and you've got a guy handing them off and a shooter, or 2 shooters and 2 guys handing off, you're going to get like 100 rounds per gun.
80 rounds.
Is it 80 a gun? Something like that?
Well, they were talking about that
16
because
guns.
it was the game was moved for racial reasons. That it's
oh, that's right, because it came from Atlanta to that. I forgot.
Oh, now they're throwing that one out there too.
Yep.
So there's
they're trying to find that
Right,
tie,
yeah.
So.
Wow. Whatever it is, that's crazy. And it seems like the little housekeeper found something going on there, and they're saying they put a stop to it. The people that they caught, I haven't heard much about, but I mean, that's what I want focused. If I'm going to be in a crowd of 25,000 standing ducks.
Yeah. All right, you changed my mind.
And there's hotels.
I'm not going down to
There's
Phoenix.
another reason not to go to that. And it isn't COVID that I'm afraid of. It's the dude in the giant truck. I got a plan for Tuesday. Okay. I'm going to go.
Hey, wasn't Chuck supposed to work today?
Because I'm not. I've got in the H&H Ranch.
Out of you. Uh-oh.
I'm just, and
Don't
my
let
window,
Craig gas up there.
my window opens. It's nothing. And I see people just standing in these soft targets. It's weird to think about, but I do think about it. I'm looking out this window and I'm like, and it's wide open.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at people gathering to get into that stadium, and they're like, people stand still in a pile. And we've created soft targets by having the security. Nobody can just go in a building anymore. It's this slow, methodical kind of march through the detectors to make sure nobody brings a gun in.
Right.
And then, but you've got this pile of people just standing there like, all right,
It's a cattle herd.
It's a turkey shoot. And trust me, there's nothing about security that in that place. Now, I don't think, I mean, it would be, I mean, it's sad to say, it would be so easy.
I don't want to cast more doubt too, but have you ever seen those security people go through your purse with that stick?
Now they don't even
Some
do
of the
that.
best.
Open it up.
First off,
looks
Toledo,
good.
I can't answer that question. I don't carry a purse. No, I've never seen a guy go through my purse.
When I've gone with Lisa, sorry.
Right, yeah, clear that up.
Fanny pack.
Never seen a guy go through your purse. It's brutal. No, now they just say, take everything out of your pockets and hold it over your head.
Yeah.
And then walk through. I'm like, all right. And the thing goes off every time because you're holding metal in your hands.
And what do they do every time?
It's like, hey, go ahead. Your pockets don't look bulgy. It's weird. So, yeah, I don't care about Craig Fooey in a mask inside an empty stadium when the game's over. I care about 25,000 people standing outside next to a high-rise. It's crazy. So, yeah, that thing in Denver is...
So what happened? Those knobs all went out for breakfast, and the maid came in. They forgot to put the "Do Not Disturb" sign on.
Exactly.
That's pretty much it.
Waffle House. Yep.
One of the problems was that they wanted maid service still.
Jesus. I want a Moons over Miami. Let's go get that. We'll be right back.
And the maids...
Which would mean there could, I mean.
You're going to defend it.
No.
Yeah, you
But
were.
Yeah, you were.
I'm glad it happened. At least they saw that stuff.
But there's a
it's
butt
something
coming.
I don't know
You
whether
just
or not.
you just don't check into a hotel
Yeah.
room with that. If you're on a hunting excursion, you keep
Yeah.
it in the trailer. You're not
Yeah.
driving around in a
No,
car.
you don't need that in your.
And-
So
and
you
I'm-
keep it in
yeah.
your truck, or you don't drag all the bullets.
Especially because of Vegas.
Yeah.
You have
Right.
to know that.
Right. If you're a responsible gun owner.
Yeah.
You're at least letting the
You don't
hotel
want that-
know and say, I have these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
And
that's
if you traveled for a hunting trip, and I
Yeah.
don't know what you're hunting in summer, I don't know
Right.
what's going on. You need that much rifle work in the summertime. But if there's a manifest on the plane that the guns were, you traveled with guns or floating around. You got to fill out papers and all sorts of stuff saying we went to here, and it's not hard.
Wait a minute,
it's
you
really
traveled
not-
with a gun?
Yeah, he had to get his dad's guns back here. You can mail them.
and 250 rounds.
Right.
But Brett, you're not going to say I got 1,000 rounds. Let's take all that up to the room.
No, I would take the weapons up there because I'm
Yeah,
not leaving those
it's
in the car.
expensive.
But
Right.
yeah,
But if you're on a trip where you need 16 rifles, you probably have some sort of safe or holder in the vehicle that you're traveling in, or you're traveling.
and you're
with
not an outfitter.
well,
Right.
I mean, and if I'm
Keeping in
if
the
I'm traveling with
car.
16 rifles, I'm not staying in downtown anywhere.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's no reason.
So this has fishy all over
Yeah.
it in a huge way. And yeah, as simple as not putting the "Do Not Disturb" on.
It's unbelievable.
It's yeah, well,
Morons.
good. I mean, it's
Yeah, no,
great,
absolutely.
But isn't that crazy? So it's very strange. But that's the thing. We're not like, okay, good that happened. But let's let Craig Fooey do a broadcast without the mask and call that safe, and keep our eyes on the prize here for what's real. Because could you imagine how bad that could have gotten or could get to this moment if that was the plan to go blow up Americana, the All-Star game? Craziness. So yeah, I've been trying to watch that. And then, of course, while we were also off, sports were crazy. It was great. Conor McGregor and his sideshow circus act that's been going on far too long finally came to a
Give the guy credit.
Halt.
His tweet on the way out, you need guys like me.
You do, but shut up.
Yeah, I agree there.
You're basically becoming the stereotype that everybody makes fun of, which is you're the Knight of the Black Forest in Monty Python. You're missing a leg and you're still screaming it's just a flesh wound. You can't get
illegitimate.
You can't mouth off stretchered away. And I don't know who's still a fan of Conor McGregor because his act wore thin a few years ago. When he walked into that ring and showed he has, I don't care what anybody says, zero boxing skill when it comes to just boxing. He can box as long as he's got the rest of the game. But Floyd Mayweather proved his punching power was zero in the first round, and his skill level is not matched to that. He looked foolish in that fight, completely, top to bottom foolish. And I give him credit. It was a huge payday. It was an interesting side. It was the first of the Logan Paul type. I can mouth off and
he's
get my
got
call.
that factor because
I
watched the fight,
show.
and where I watched the fight over the house, majority of the people want McGregor.
Yeah, well,
and after which surprised me because I haven't been.
You've said that.
Yeah.
That's a testament to Floyd. I think.
Well,
I just think that
I don't know what it is.
Whatever he's built up, Floyd just
he's P.T. Barnum.
Yeah,
and he always has been, and he's no different than what I always say about Mike Tyson, who I think is the most overrated heavyweight fighter of all time, because he never beat anybody good. And Conor's beaten a few on the way up. He beat a couple guys that were like supposed to be good, but then when Conor got to where it was like, here's the true skill levels, he's been beaten by better fighters over and over again. And still,
and he would have been beaten,
screaming
bad.
Oh yeah, that's what everybody. I didn't watch it. I just saw the stills of his leg split in half, and then the classlessness of Conor McGregor screaming. And that's the thing I think about his sideshow that was bad is that when he attacked Habib's bus, and hurt other people throwing, and he should have been in jail for that. It's not
went away.
It's not funny. It's not just chatter. It's not
hype.
It's not. No. Yeah. And Floyd was the same way. Floyd had his thing where he would hype, and then he did stuff where you're like in jail, and he went to jail. He's not a good person. Conor McGregor has proven that he's nothing to cheer for, and except for when his leg splits in half, and he still lays there and starts talking about the guy's wife is a whore, and it's like, okay,
he's trying to be the broed out Mayweather. He's trying to be that bad guy, and it's all business.
It seems beyond forced.
Yeah,
beyond
it's
fake.
WWE type.
And that's exactly what it is, and I think it's great for money. It's the worst thing for the sport because without him, nobody cares. It's got no show, and so essentially, this incredibly skilled level of fighting has become: is the guy fun? Is he mouthy? Is he a big mouth at the bar? Because that's what sells. Boxing's the same. They do the same thing in boxing. You don't have anybody interested. Like Tyson Fury is really interested. Now he's got COVID, so he can't play, but. He's fun to watch because at the end of the thing, he'll sing a song at the end of the fight, which is really weird. Like what Tyson does is weird. But yeah, I watching him break his leg, I'm like, finally we can be rid of this circus known as Conor McGregor that I honestly don't know how anybody's been a fan of his. Outside of his just braggadocious kind of boisterous
The walk
nonsense.
was a huge part of it.
Also very douchey, I get it. And it's meant to divide like hate and love. But I don't know how anybody liked him. I really don't, because it's like he's just been classless the whole. Any other sport, and like if this is football and a dude's doing this stuff, he gets suspended. People are talking about never wanting him on a team again.
Well, there's been some cases where they
not this. I mean, there's been guys who've done dumb stuff. If a guy went on,
but people are the same thing. The people that do the celebrations in the end zone. Bring your popcorn, all that stuff.
That's a show. That's different. That's not saying your wife's a whore. That's not saying, that's not attacking a guy with a chair and and having glass shoot another person's eye. It went way beyond just, showmanship. It wasn't showmanship, and it gets confused in that. And that's where the MMA starts to lose people who are like, I want to like this sport, but you guys encourage.
Come on the way out, your wife's been on my DMs when he's yelling that.
I don't even think it's funny. I was looking at him like, that's not even funny. You're like, I love
it's
how
so stupid.
I love how sad your little career has become. Oh, yeah, you've made all the money. Fantastic. Good on you. Tip your cap. But you're P.T. Barnum, and your legend is now
I think
asshole.
You can stop now.
Yeah, I think your legend is you're so much further beyond your fighting skill is now this guy's a dick. And good, because he is. And it always, the cream will always
You got to
rise.
shut your mouth because you might be jeopardizing any chance of getting on
Right.
Expendables.
By the way, you're also bleeding out. You're bleeding out into your own skin because your leg's in half. So maybe not the time to start picking fights because you can't walk. I always thought that about Floyd. I always thought Floyd Mayweather was a big pussy because he'd mouth off. And then if you looked at his security guards,
Huge.
They were 7 feet tall, 300-pound men, and he was doing all the chatter, and they were doing all the work. And when he went to jail and said, these guys want a piece of me, I'm like, I thought you said you were the baddest man on the planet. Like, you're the one who said, in jail, I'm the baddest man on the planet, and mouthed off to the guys you were going to go to jail with, not thinking you'd ever be in a cell, and those guys were going to try to prove to you you were not the baddest man on the planet, and you got scared and asked to leave.
Not you, soft shell. You're the toughest.
Yeah. So the circus sideshow of fighting, it's so different than any other sport. Basketball, if at the end of the game last night, Chris Paul thing said, yeah, well, Middleton's wife's on my DMs, whore. You'd have been like, all right, I don't even want this guy on my team anymore. He's great, but I don't want this. I don't want to cheer for that. I don't know how anybody.
They don't yell that out. They just say that one-on-one to the other guy.
But I mean, for God's sakes, we had, a 2-week meltdown when somebody called Luka white boy. Oh, can you believe it? I mean, it's like it's every other sport. Team sports are a little different. But individually, golf, I beat Phil Mickelson this weekend because his wife's a whore and she's been up in my DMs. That guy's not golfing anymore for a long, long time.
He missed that putt.
No matter Bryson DeChambeau simply walked behind another guy and photobombed him, and it was golf's worst etiquette mistake in years, and these guys are...
Can you believe this?
Can you believe what's going on in the gentleman's game?
You just froze him.
Yeah, Connor's I'm glad he's limping around with rods in his leg. He's got what's coming to him, as far as I'm concerned. And Saturday, I'm hanging out with Brady filming the movie. We're not allowed to talk about it. We can put the picture of the bowlers up, right?
I don't think so.
I don't put that
not
up.
yet. No, let's not put that up yet.
Just imagine Frank Stallone in Tombstone. It's Ed Bailey. It's Ed Bailey in Tombstone.
Is that his character?
Yeah,
that's for the four people that you just made sense to.
But four people are like, all right, I got you.
I got you. That's pretty much it. Yeah. We can't put that one single still up?
I don't know. I'll find out.
We don't even have a name of the movie or anything. We're not giving the game away with that one.
No.
Yeah. We're not allowed to say what the movie's about or the characters or what's going on.
Not, I guess, as far as I know, not
I'm fine
yet.
with that.
Yeah.
But that picture just is like a couple of idiots. It's the same as us taking a picture in the hallway here.
I don't think it'll matter.
So let's go dress up the exact same way.
I know.
And do the picture in the hallway.
I think you can put it up.
Anyway, I text my buddy Max Saturday afternoon and said, $1,000 McGregor gets knocked out in the second round because he's got a bookie. And Max didn't get back to me. I'm like, damn it, I missed the bet. Oh, I was like 5 seconds away from a nice little Mayweather payday. I knew he was going to lose that fight, too. It's even better because Dustin's just a better fighter. Anyway, how was your vacation, Brett? I'll start with you.
Air conditioning took a dump. literally got it fixed.
I thought there was a comment there.
No,
Air
no,
conditioning
no.
took a dump.
No. Oh, there was. Yeah.
No.
Air conditioning took a dump. It was nice. 71 degrees.
Yeah, literally get that fixed at 11 o'clock that night. Wake up the next morning, go in the garage, water heater blew.
Oh, my God.
You've got to be kidding. I just started laughing at that point.
Yeah, because what are you
And started drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, the hell with it.
And then the lightning came and burned the house down. It was a terrible tragedy in Italy.
But other than that, nothing.
Yeah, who'd you piss off?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you say it? Awful lot of lightning out there, Medea. We could get rid of this entire problem.
I thought about it.
Yeah, you should have.
Believe me.
Yeah, some of that. So you didn't do anything but fix your
just
house.
Fixing the house. Yeah, it
brutal.
sucked. I should have came to work.
Brady, didn't you and I talked Saturday? Not a whole lot going on for you.
Golfed 3 or 4 times in the heat.
Sounds
Went
lovely.
up to the Rim Club in Payson and played.
I've been to I was at the wrong Rim Club with
You got a
Hopkins.
rim job? I was going to say you got a rim job.
Hopkins and I walked around. We went to a place called the Rim Club.
This one's different.
Where it's right next to Seamus McCaffrey's. You can wander around. What's the Rim? Hopkins like, let's go in. And people go, TV's Doug Hopkins when he walks in. I'm like, you're a regular. So you didn't do it. In Toledo, the big American U-turn.
The Great American U-turn for probably the final time.
Thank God, because I'm tired of worrying about you.
Brady was worried about me.
Everybody's worried about you. This is a terrible idea.
He said it was the last time. I'm like, uh-oh, does that
a little
mean
dicey.
he's not coming back?
How was the motorhome? Or how was the trailer?
Well, I've pulled trailers before.
Yeah.
But I've never pulled with the new VW Touareg.
That is such a cracker thing to say.
It
I've
was.
pulled trailers before.
It was completely
I've been pulling
that.
trailers since I was a boy.
So we get it all hooked up on Friday. I leave here. We're good time. I'm leaving here at like noon. I'm like, we'll be on the road by 2. Aces.
Right.
Go home. Try and get it set up, and the lights aren't working on the trailer. Oh Christ! Blew a fuse. Get that going. Sweating my ass off trying to load the thing. Got 2 teenagers that are sitting on their phone inside. Not a goddamn thing to do anything for this trip. And so we get that all going and finally get on the road. Brady calls. It's like 4 o'clock. We're not even to Wickenburg yet. And so we're hitting the road. We're looking at midnight maybe to St. George where the RV park is. Maybe.
The RV park.
So
hold on a second. Let me get my weapon and kill myself.
This was Hillside RV in St. George. Put it on your list if you're an RV guy. It was the nicest RV park in the world.
Suicide on your list if you're an RV guy.
And
also, if you're an RV guy, Beth is on 99.9. You're on the wrong channel. You're 100 years old if you're an RV guy. If you're an RV guy,
they know about it.
They sell ropes and ladders at Home Depot. Get on it.
You pissed off a large swath of people.
No, I didn't. RV people aren't. The rentals are one thing. If you're an RV guy, it's over.
We got guys that have toy haulers. They're big RV guys.
When City Boy rolls in a 2-rag, pulling a trailer.
Toy haulers are for going to some place to empty the toy hauler. RV guys are to live the life of RV park.
So we get to St. George, and it's 2 o'clock Utah time, 1 o'clock Arizona time.
Right. So you played that game for a little bit.
Got set up the first night, got up early the next morning, and hit the road again because I'm the only one that can drive because Lisa's scared S-less about driving something with a trailer because when we first hooked up the brake controller, the brakes would just kind of go. Yeah, so we're kind of dragging the trailer every now and then. And she's nervous.
Sounds horrible.
Every little pull.
It's horrible every year. He continues to do it every year. It's like, I drove this.
Try to find the smallest thing possible to pull it.
You guys remember last July when I took that railroad spike and I drove it into my head? Well, we did it again this year.
Boy, no AC and a water heater sounds great compared to this.
I would so much rather have spent an entire week at your house helping you than ever go on this trip.
Helping him? No way.
Yeah, I would have helped. Yeah, that's how much I want to go with you anywhere on this trip. I'm like, I don't know anything about water heaters. What can I do to help? It's 100 degrees in Brett's house, and we're swimming around in water in the garage. I'm like, okay.
So we get there, and everything's fine. Mom's lost probably another 10 pounds. She's wasting away. She's got COPD.
Oh, your mom. Oh, Jesus, don't tell us that.
Good but times. She's good. Other than that, she's
good morning, everybody.
Is that why this is the last time?
No, it's not a Brady situation.
Okay, good. She's just getting a little thin.
Yeah.
You got to get her some sandwiches.
Yes.
Well, thanks for sharing that part of it. That was uplifting. And then you drug ass home. How many RV parks do you stop in?
2. So one in Provo on the way back, one in St. George on the way up.
And you drive from St. George all the way to Montana in a day?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that one was, we got to my mom's.
11 hours?
Got to my mom's at 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh. Why? At RV park, how
many? Did the boys ride in the back in the trailer?
They had to.
No.
Yeah, he said they weren't allowed. They rode in the Touareg. And then you have to empty the machine.
Nope.
No?
No, there was
inside?
No pooping, no using the facilities.
And then
just had to empty the gray water tank.
Ugh. Would you
do it again?
He's going to hate this. Yeah, I'd do it again.
Why? Give your family an adventure that's fun for people. This is awful. Dragging some trailer with wheels.
It's not going to be the go-to vacation thing anymore. But if we go down, we got friends. Gay Anderson Cooper. Yeah. He'll bring his RV down to Mexico. We'll do that.
Man, you guys are going to get your head slobbed off. You take dumb trips. You got to do something better than this. Just a car and stay in hotels, at least nice resorts and stuff. Be kind to them.
No,
and not the boys. Let them sleep in the car. Get something nice for that lady, unless she was clogging up the gray water tank with her supplies.
Alex is got his hopes way up. My mom and my stepdad own a storage unit place in a little town that we're in from Three Forks. They had a guy that went to jail in February of 2020, but before he went to jail, he defaulted on his storage unit and brought a car onto the lot and just left the car on the lot. 2014 Toyota Camry.
Nice.
Didn't pay the bill, didn't do anything. So it's still sitting there, but he hit something like they think he hit a deer or something with it. So it's got the front end corner panel is all screwed up.
Look,
so my stepdad says to Alex, You want a car? And Alex just doesn't think about anything. Yeah, get it off my property and it's yours. So Alex is like, Dad.
It may or may not have been used in a murder.
Yeah, don't know.
I mean,
it's been sitting there.
A lot of blood.
It's been sitting there since February 2020.
Well, I don't know any DNA test results, but there's blood on it.
It's almost a year and a half. It's been sitting there idle. It's the interior is good. It's in good shape.
So you towed that back too?
No. But he's got ideals.
Oh yeah, that's his car.
That's his first car. Yeah.
Well, you're going back to Montana.
I told him if he gets A's and B's, we'll go back up.
Wow, don't worry about that. That kid ain't getting A's and B's.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. That car is safe, and it's until the Averys and How to Make a Murderer 2 comes out.
Right.
And that turns out to be the murder.
Is a 2014 Camry worth driving to Montana for that has front end damage?
It depends, Brett. Depends.
I don't care what the make model of the vehicle is. When a guy says to me, if it's a challenge, if you can get this off of my property, you can have it. That basically means that thing is not moving. It's a paperweight.
It's been there for 17 months.
If you can figure out in some miracle of God kind of way how to get that vehicle off my property, because I won't touch it.
Because I want it gone.
I don't want this rice machine on my property.
$800.
The business
trailer down.
It's got some kind of squatter's issue or something like that. They can't remove it from the property, even though he left it there without paying for a spot or anything.
And there's no keys.
No keys.
So you got to hotwire it.
Yep.
So you got to steal the car. And that'll be your son's first car. That's so appropriate. I'll pay for the trip up.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll fly him up.
Don't tell Alex that because he'll be hammering you every day.
One-way ticket on Allegiant, I'm sure, is the only place that flies to this hillbilly town. And I'll drop him off and say, figure it out. But you better be back here in a Camry.
And how do you get a title to this thing? Just Microsoft Word and just make one up or what?
Come on, Brett. My mom is on that issue because she loves
Camry. How do you get a title and legalize this operation?
Really?
I got a guy.
So my mom, for her grandson, will be trying to hunt down a title for him. If that can happen, a lot of dominoes have to fall. So
yeah. Brett Crandall says, "God damn Toledo, that's a vacation for your family. How exciting is a root canal to you? Because it sounds the same, right? Yeah."
It's just 2 days, just about 3 days of driving. Other than that, it was fine.
Blech. No thanks.
And then we drove back, and we got back Saturday night and got into the Haboob and blew the trailer off the road. So panicked on that.
That thing, I bet.
White knuckling. Jesus.
None of this is worth it. None of it.
I had to tell the guy I rented the trailer from. I'm like, ooh, how's this pull during a windstorm?
Last Tuesday, I had giant needles jammed into my hip joints. Giant needles. And I would do it every day before I'd ever go on a road trip with you.
Do it 11 days in a row?
If they said for the rest of your life you have to do this needle treatment, I'd be like, okay, just keep me away from that trailer. It was awful, but it's magic. Got this bone scraping and some sort of thing shot into my hips, and I feel amazing.
All right, John, you mentioned it. Would you rather fly Allegiant to Montana or drive with Toledo on the next Great American UTurn?
Fly Allegiant. I'd literally fly the plane myself before I get into the trailer with Toledo. I'd be like, I don't know how this works, but if you get
pull up, I think.
I've seen a lot of TV. I think I push these forward. And
you guys can walk me through it.
And then someone says Jumbo 9's clear, and then I go, and I just pull the stick back, right? And it would be amazing.
It's like a Tesla, right? Just an autopilot.
The pilot would probably be like, that pretty much is it.
Yeah.
We made it. Just watch Denzel Washington in that Crash movie where he had to turn it over and land it on its top. That's your training. I've done flight simulators. I just can't land the plane. I'm like a Japanese pilot in the 40s.
Zero?
Yeah. I don't know how to land them. I can get them up in the air, but I don't know how to land them. Because I was great at it in the simulator. We're floating, baby. And then you get the guy telling you how high to go and level off. I could do all that. When landing happened, in that flight simulator, I crashed at Chicago's Meigs Field about 14 times before I wasn't able to do it anymore. I couldn't figure that out at all. But I don't think I'd need to. Just have a guy. And I'd rather crash land because then no one's ever going to, I would never be threatened with a road trip with Toledo. The worst. And then you drive back in a storm. And that's the thing I think about is like the weather. If there's rain, like you went up that one year in the snow and we're sliding around.
Oh, yeah.
It's just dumb.
Without a trailer that time, just in. Ooh. That was dicey.
The kids don't like it.
Kids are asleep most of the time.
They're miserable.
On their phones. They didn't even know what happened.
Does Lisa enjoy it?
No.
Are you the only one that enjoys this, or I'm just
enjoy this? I don't even know if he enjoys it.
The first couple hours of that trip on Friday, she was not enjoying a thing.
Oh, hilarious.
It was trying to get adjusted to the way that the trailer feels, and everything.
And if you go too fast, it starts to wobble.
Oh, you get a little sway going, yeah.
When I called,
what were you
on
calling
speakerphone because I figured 4 o'clock. I'm
even you said
He's
it.
checking.
I'm like,
why did you answer?
As soon as he popped up on the phone, I'm like, what is going on?
He's got to be at St. George's right around now because he was saying he's going to leave at noon. So I was calling.
You thought I'd be at St. George at 4?
It's dead silent.
Yeah. Oh, there's no reason.
Lisa? Yeah. Just ask Rich how's it going. 5-hour delay.
Yeah.
And, she was not happy.
Well, she's not happy in general. She wakes up next to Toledo.
It was funny. They laughed.
Well, thanks for clearing that up. Thanks, guy on phone who knew.
And then I heard a round go off.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was worried when I saw that thing breaking in Denver that Toledo had lost it and checked into a hotel there by the MLB. Went to the All-Star game. Yeah, well, there's your vacation stories. Good job. Richard, it's worse every year. I don't think you ever hear your own story about how...
I hear it.
You never tell
when we're back, I hear it.
You never, ever, ever tell the story. Oh, man, it was the best. Like, we got there in record time. No, it wasn't. The highlights of the story were all awful. We
3 stars.
Record time. We flew up there. The kids met this... one of them lost his virginity, and it was the best thing ever. My mom's doing great. It's always just... It was really hard getting there. Mom's not looking too good. We made it back. There was a haboob. We almost died.
So it's the same results every year?
Every year.
Okay. All right.
It's always entertaining because it's always bad.
Let's do it again.
It's never like, hey, Brady, how was your week? Good. We went off. We were in San Diego. Had some fun. There was this story. The fireworks all went off at once. We were right next to that. It was good. Brady was in San Diego when that plane crashed on the beach.
He's in Hawaii with an earthquake?
Yeah. And he's got some stories that are like, the vacation was fun. Can you believe this happened or not? Yours is your own doing. And there's never a highlight that's like, God, that sells it. If you were a tour guide or a travel agent, what would you tell people to make them try this trip? There isn't a thing about this.
It's a good experience for your teenage sons.
Once. You guys have done 7 times.
Not with a trailer.
We need to get you on the PBS program like that Steve guy from Europe trips, Toledo's trips. And,
no. People would end up shooting Toledo, like put him out of his misery. I've seen 20-year-old dogs.
You want me to be Rick Steves?
Yeah, Rick Steves.
Jesus. I don't know who that is. I've seen 20-year-old dogs that are in better shape than that whole trip would put me in.
Oh, man.
Like, just put it down. Just euthanize this thing. It's a terrible, terrible idea. And you got all your stuff straightened out.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Much better trip.
Yes.
Let's rank them. I think I came in first.
Oh, 100%.
And I had hip surgery for the most part, and it was still better than Toledo's trip. I had a hip surgery day of game 1. I could barely walk, and I still hoofed it around all day the next day. I felt amazing. Brady, you're probably second. You had a couple nice golf outings. You up at the rim. You got a rim job. That's
got
good.
A nice rim job.
In Payson, though.
I
could drop it down a little bit.
So he nees to be tested.
Yeah.
But he's still got a rim job. Blood tested.
Breakfast at the 260 Cafe.
Oh, God. And then Brett's is third.
I thought I would be last. I thought I was going to have the most miserable vacation ever, but
I'd rather have yours.
I'm not feeling so bad now.
No, I'd rather
have yours. You got to see Jerome and you went to the caverns, right?
Yeah, I did that. I did that too, yeah.
So you had a couple of days in between
that started out good because that's what we did on Monday and Tuesday, and then the AC and the water heater, and it just went to hell. But
right. You still got not better trip in than him.
Man.
And then yours is like...
We probably spent about the same amount of money.
Probably.
That's probably true. It probably cost him $80 to do this. Kill your family thing. You shaving years off, man. You know what your kids probably said? It was like, God, I wish our dad was more like his dad. Leave us behind. Take this trip without us and never come back. No sightings of the old man?
None.
Did you take a peek?
No, but there is a new wrinkle in the quote-unquote family.
Oh, no.
My cousin, who isn't related by blood at all because my uncle is adopted like my mom. They were bought on the black market. But anyway, it's all I've known. He's my cousin.
That's a true story, by the way. For those who don't know, his mother was purchased on the black market. Go ahead.
I thought you knew that part, but anyway.
No.
So my cousin,
born of a whore,
yeah,
and left on a doorstep and then purchased.
Not on a doorstep.
Oh, no, yeah.
Taken from the chiropractor's office while still lubed up from
birth,
just being birthed.
The chiropractor.
That's right. The chiropractor was birthing babies.
So you went to the joint and they just.
Yep. Now you're getting it.
They're very good.
Now you're getting
wow.
it.
I have to go through all that schooling.
So my cousin, I get there. It's the first day we're at his daughter's softball game. He leans over and he goes, "Oh, by the way, I met my dad." I'm like, "Yeah, I know your dad. I'm named after your dad." No. My daughter sent in a DNA kit to 23andMe because she wanted to know her history.
Yeah.
Pops up the guy that one of his buddies, his dad is his dad. So one of his best friends growing up, turns out that it's his dad, and my uncle didn't father either one of my cousins.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So this guy's less removed.
Right.
So he's
right.
Even
further.
And he just found out that his best friend's father is his father.
Yeah.
What kind of hillbilly incestuous nightmare you live
He was a little bit crushed by that for a day or so, but he's dealt with it now. Like, he laughs about it now, but he was like, yeah.
If Rawhide was real, it's where Toledo's from.
Pretty much.
Oh, my God.
There's a lot of whoring going on in Three Forks, Montana. In the late 60s.
I think you're just saying it wrong. I don't think it's Three Forks. I think there's three guys.
Yep.
One branch.
3F's Montana.
Montana, where the three of us get to bang all the ladies and make babies and not care. Wow. Well, there you go. Well, there's vacation talk. I'm going to save my story for my most embarrassing text ever.
Well, the teaser.
It's good stuff.
All right.
We'll tease.
We're going to need some time for that one.
Not necessarily. It's just so ridiculously stupid. The worst drunk text I've ever sent.
How many lines? How many?
2.
Oh.
2 small
Two
sentences.
lines and it's this.
2 short sentences.
Devastating.
Wow. And it is potentially devastating. It changes lives.
Uh-oh.
Lives changed. And I still don't have...
Yours or the other parties?
Both.
Oh.
Both lives have changed.
Max Power?
Nope. Max is great.
Damn it.
All good.
Peter, the studying
You'll
writer?
find out. No, Peter's great, too. I haven't talked to Peter in a long time. I need to get him. What do you got on the big board of musical treats?
All right, the wake-up song brought to you guys by our buddies over there at Action Ride Shop. As a matter of fact, Josh just texted us about RVing, and he sent over his toy hauler and stuff, so I can check out the pictures of that. Yeah, because they're into all the action stuff, so it's, if you're off-road, if you want to do the mountain bike thing, skiing, whatever, the boys over there at Action Ride Shop got you covered.
Because they do day trips.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they weekends with stuff to do.
Yeah.
And that's what a toy hauler
What do you say? You don't drive 10 hours with Josh to go?
No.
I would go with Josh, but I'm not going to go to his mom's house in Montana and then turn around and come back. Like, we didn't ever use the toys. It's not a toy hauler. It's a house. Why? They have places that you can buy to stay in. Why are we doing this? Why are we hauling our own urine across the country?
Didn't haul our own
Yes,
urine.
you did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, we didn't.
Bottle up? Did they bottle up?
You didn't pee in the
stop.
toilet?
You peed in the thing.
No, that was outlawed, and there's no peeing in the RV. No peeing, no pooping in the RV.
You had a bathroom you didn't use.
Completely.
No, I don't buy it.
We had facilities at the
Where
RV
was
park,
Lisa
and we were at
going?
my mom's. When we'd stop for gas, and at the RV park.
When you slept in that thing at St. George's RV,
You used the
Right.
facilities.
you were in that. She got up in the middle of the night and peed in that.
No, went to
Absolutely.
the facilities.
You made her go outside into a trailer park.
Super
Dumper.
clean.
Damn tootin'.
Super clean.
Flashlight.
Cleaner than
the middle of the night
to
take a
clear out the
pee.
spider web.
Cleaner than carrying her piss for 4 hours.
And there's no doubt, because it's a vacation, that she was on her period. Because all women go on their periods when a guy goes on vacation.
Don't know. Can't
I
confirm
do.
that.
I can confirm it.
Timing
I'll confirm.
experts.
Look, they time it on purpose so we leave them alone on vacation. I'm convinced of it.
She was pleasant on the trip. She was great.
Well, that doesn't mean she's mean. She was happy. She knew she couldn't be touched. She was Red Sonja the whole way, guaranteed. And she's dumping those right there, and you're hauling them around.
She didn't sleep well in the RV.
No, because she had to pee. She wasn't allowed to
The
go.
whole time.
Oh, God, sorry. Anyway, Action Ride Shops, I would sooner tongue dart everybody who works there than ever go on this trip with Toledo. And if you're like, prove it, I will, just to get it off the table.
All right, if you're interested in that, check them out on Facebook and on Instagram at Action Ride Shop. A bunch of stuff up here. Audio Slave, Hell Yeah, Sepultura, Anthrax, Foo Fighters, Dead Kennedy's holiday in Cambodia for the humidity that's been going on around here lately.
Just in this building?
No, it's outside too, but it's not as bad as in this room.
This room is the worst. This is Florida in here.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Bring some plants in here.
Kingdom of Sorrow, AC/DC, Chevelle, Mushroom Head. Foo Fighters doing their Bee Gees cover.
It's so good. It's hard to not
play. I know. It's good.
Let's do it. Right. Foo Fighters, You Should Be Dancing is so good. And I never thought that would be something maybe like, I want to hear the Foo Fighters do the Bee Gees. But man,
and I guess they're putting out an album of like disco covers.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Because they're the Foo Fighters. They can do that. Yeah.
This is actually excellent because it's obviously a classic hit song. And you'd never think that a rock band could pull it off the way they do. And they pull it off and still be true to the original. It's great. They're just fun. They're bringing to rock what the people who hate them are like, you guys hate fun. And you don't have to like their music. Just understand that girls go to their concerts, and the concerts you like are all dudes who just can't stand their parents, that want to fight the entire time. I like concerts where there's a chance that, there's some mingling, there's some stuff going on, the girl's having fun, you go back to the car, you get a blowy on the way home. Those are the concerts that I remember enjoying, not the one where I come back and I'm like, dude, your nose is still bleeding. Your nose is still bleeding. Yeah, I got rocked in the mosh pit. I'm like, okay, yeah, but you're bleeding all over my car now.
Hanging out with a bunch of Conor McGregors in the pit and stuff like that.
Let's go get tits. No, let's just go home. We're not going to blow each other, right? There were no girls there. I know. Isn't that weird? Because there's no fun. It's all angry. And I'm fine with angry every once in a while. But we got to get a few of these fun bands back in. And the Foo's pulling that off in a big way. A big way. Other than all those excursions, it was pretty miserably hot, too. I was riding my bike. I rode my bike to the H&H Ranch. Again, I need Josh because I did something. I don't know what I did to it. But I got to get that thing over there. So I'm riding down there, and there's people, I like the heat. I have no issue with that. I know how to stay. I have Pedialyte in the backpack. I'm loaded up with water. I can give it out. I've got so much water. Camelback and Central. There's a dude in a suit standing, walking at the light, and he just looks at me and goes, whoo, whoo, whoo. And I'm like, yeah. I said, what are you in the suit for? I got a job. I got to get to my job. I'm like, get an Uber, do something. What are you walking to? I'm like, how far do you have to go? And he, Thomas, you're walking from here to Thomas. Yeah, it's warm, isn't it? I'm like, it's 2 p.m. It's 110, 112 degrees. And this idiot is walking around in a suit. And I'm riding by all of them. Who's your boss that makes you still wear that?
Yeah.
Jackass that doesn't say, everybody dress like a Mormon missionary right now. Let's go short sleeves and you have to wear pants. But that's about, who would be so jackass if you're in a business meeting? Well, I didn't buy from them because he was wearing pants and a short sleeve shirt. I'm like, yeah, but he lives in Arizona. It's like, what are we dressing like we're from New York for? This is ridiculous. Poor bastard had to wear a suit because his overlord, and I wanted to say it, but he was a black guy. I'm like, I don't know. I'm treating you like a see you later. I better not say that. But because I was like, man, that's telling his boss, I got to wear a suit. It's my job. I'm like, they're treating you like a goodbye.
Sheriff.
Couldn't say it. Like a sheriff. That's right. What? Come back here now. Where you going? Come back here. I don't know. Sheriff is angry and he's no longer near. But yeah, I just don't get that. But yeah, riding around on the bike and stuff and seeing all these people walking from place to place in suits. And then I made the mistake of thinking I was going to go on a little street ride. I thought it was 102 degrees. It turned out that day it was 109. And I rode from my house to Tempe Town Lake and did a couple laps around the lake. Oh, and then somewhere around Papago, I'm like, I don't feel so good. And I looked at the phone, and it was inoperable because it had overheated. And I didn't know what the temperature. I got home, it was like 110 that day. I needed to pay attention. I went a little far. I made it back. But, I
drank over 60 gallons of water on one round of golf.
It was
amazing.
I was guzzling. I was probably close to that, to be honest. And then I was riding by Oso, dead-legging on the canal. See those misters going. People are just enjoying. It was like cartoon pouring beer into their mouth from like way above their faces. And I'm like, I got to get a beer. I was afraid I would pass out. Yeah, it was crazy. It's been warm. So, again, be very careful. But the humidity stinks. Again, coming up in just moments. People are like, did you send a dick pic? Was it to your ex? No. Worse.
Worse.
Bunny.
You wish. Worse. I could have sent.
You'd have heard about that one.
Brady, I could have sent a spread beehole to Bunny. This is worse.
Oh, God.
Yeah. This is worse. Worse. Coming up in a while. Stay tuned for my, oh my God.
Up on the 9th.
Did I just send that to you? Oh my God. Did I just send that? Tuesday night, after the Suns game. The worst text I've ever sent in my life.
Celebration text?
Yes, but then it turned out it wasn't.
Yes, but no.
It's the intent was yes. The result was no. The result was lack of celebration. I'd rather go to my friends' funerals.
Both parties scarred?
Yes. Maybe. Me for sure. Still damaged.
Wow, what a teaser this is.
It's a good tease.
Man.
It's a good tease. You'll catch it. Somewhere between now and 10. I'll tell that story. Let's do it. The Foo Fighters. This is them covering the Bee Gees, which is just ridiculous. You'd never thought it would be as good as it is, and it is. Where did they do this?
They did it. I think they did it like in England or something originally, and then they just came up with the idea, and they're like, "Well, let's just do a whole album." It's great. So I think in October, a whole disco cover album comes out from Foo.
This is You Should Be Dancing, right? All right, it's the Foo.
Hey, it's not weird. It's pretty cool, actually. No membership fee.
I have heard enough of this.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.